Couple things we got going on. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, couple things. I got the two wheels is here, boy. That's all right. Yeah, like double up. Mr. Hardeman, do you know how Anthony Hale is doing? Let's give me the little rundown on Anthony Hale.
Well, last time we talked.
How long ago was that?
That was like a week and a half ago.
Okay. So not long.
Chad Millionaire called us about doing some kind of speech on St. Paul Police.
Yeah, right. Hell is out. So, but he got his job.
Mm-hmm. No, he's got workers' comp.
Oh, you got hurt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want to know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you got it. Couple more things. Mr. Harris, what's going on?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Yes.
Good. Couple things that just happened. I just want to mention them, just in case you missed, by way of just catching you up. Last Thursday night, we Pop Guys were at the Spiritual Life Church out in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center. I can never tell the difference between the two. But Mr. Hale, Dr. Webb was installed and ordained as a minister of the church. It was an amazing time. I think there were about 16 of us there, and everybody was looking good. This is a picture. Let's pass that around. I just want you to pass. Tim, you gonna just be right in people's way. So move that chair right on over here and quit clowning. Stop acting like this is your first time here. You're not a first timer. Yes. And Willie, send this down too, so y'all can see that. That was looked like the best photo. There were several of them. That looked like the best one of all. Donald Amos was sharp. He went GQ on us. And then look at. Can you see Dr. Curtis Harris there with his gangster set? Yeah, he was all dressed up so nice. And yeah, man, it was really a nice thing. Miss Lolita Thomas, the Queen, was there. Nate Walker showed up over there on the right-hand side. That's Brother Nate. He showed up to show his support. And we were pretty proud of Daryl. He's the first one of us Pop Guys to be installed as a ordained minister. And this is now, he hasn't been out but about 5 months. But he, during his time in Faribault and Lino, he was studying theology, and he got his doctorate degree in theological studies from the same church that later ordained him, and now have given him leadership over their prison ministry. They were going into the prison when he was there. Now they want to send him, and so it's just amazing. And he might teach the Holy Ghost, but he might also teach that POP stuff, because you know how that is. Yeah. And they go hand in hand. Yeah. So that's that was happening last week. It was a big thing. I don't know if he's gonna make it tonight. I hope he does. Oh, he gonna.
Yeah. He dropped me off.
Okay.
He can't stick me and drop me off. He had to go do some kind of class.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, the doctor's in the house, and then this was a photograph of him and Dave. This is David Garcia. This just was a nice shot. You know what I mean? And Garcia, man, since he's been coming to POP, I just feel something happening with him. He seems lighter. His spirit is lighter. I don't feel him wrestling with so much. He's making progress. So that's just a picture that touched my heart, man. Anyway, a couple things. Let me keep going on updates. On Saturday, last Saturday, was such a beautiful day. Last Saturday, about 10 or 12 pop guys gathered in here to pass out flyers in the neighborhood. Now, we went right up here in Coronaville from 4th Street and Broadway to Lowry North. From 4th Street to Fremont, and then Fremont up to Lowry. We thought we was going to need about 500 flyers. We ended up needing about 1,500. The guys that were on the flyering team, man, was hitting it so hard, right? Going right to your door. You come on and get tested right at your door. I mean, you talking about some powerful stuff. Now, it's not on TV, it's at your door. And these guys were right at your door with it. And so there was one, Tierre brought his sons. So they had a street on their own. So on their street, they was on 4th. Here comes a little skateboard brother on the one of them wiggle boards. Now, you know them little wiggle boards, you got to be doing this. You know, the board don't go like the other boards. You got to keep wiggling. So when I drove down the street, here come the wiggle boy up the street, right? And by the time I drove back the next time, the wiggle boy had a flyer. They done hit him. So she hit the wiggle boy and everybody else, we said, everybody moving, getting a flyer. So it was a lot of fun, and we ended up, we ate something after that. We ate pizza and just fellowshipped a little bit. And man, it was so nice. And I'm just proud of who we are. We're trying to make a difference. Hey, Mother Thomas, we're trying to make a difference out there in the community. And I believe, so on Thursday at 10 a.m., kitty corner from us right here is the Muslim temple. It's in the parking lot of the Muslim temple that COVID-19 testing is going to be done free of charge, don't cost you nothing. For anybody in here who's available to get tested that day, go on over there and just see about it. Let me tell you, I'm going to be there. I just got tested 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I'm getting ready to get tested again. Let me tell you why. Minnesota is one of the states that has ramped up in their positive tests. And another reason why is because Minnesota is a cold state. So then when you have them two things going on, you don't know if you got the flu or if you got Jabba the Hutt. And you can't play around. If it's Jabba, you can't be playing around with some Tylenol thinking you're going. So what we're going to do, if we do another event ourselves, this is a possibility, but if we do it, the next event we have, Mr. Powell, how you doing? The next event we have will be, we're going to try to get COVID testing and the flu shot both at the same time. So that way, you're trying to knock them both out at one time. And so, right, and we're talking about, though, being inside. How will we do it inside? Because now we're not going to be able to beat the weather. Right. Speaking of which, if you don't have a coat, you're going to get caught up. This thing, now I have known it to be on Thanksgiving. Halloween can get really cold. You can't play. You can't play if you don't have no coat. Just don't lie, but put your hand up if you know you don't have no coat. No, but if you don't have no coat, that's what I asked you. You don't have no coat. Duval, how could you not have a coat?
I got a coat. I got a maxi.
You got to listen what Umar got. he got the coat from Superfly. We're not doing that. We're not doing They're not doing the Superfly code. Right. You know, Fred is still dead. I'm trying to.
I got a coat to donate.
You got one to donate. Can Umar have it? Because I can't have him out here.
That's a little dude right there.
I can't have him.
That's a little dude right there. You pull that coat around,
Look, you ain't no baby. Look, look, I'm thinking,
As long as it ain't got to go.
can you just see Umar standing out there with his maxi coat on and the Superfly hat? You know the people are coming run you right back to the penitentiary. Now you got to quit playing. Talking about he got a pack. Oh my God. Yeah, you better pack up something. This coat this boy's talking about. Boy, that was good. I needed that. So anyway, I have a few. I'm going to be donating a few coats. I'm about a 44 long, or, you know. When I'm a fat boy, I'm a 46, and then normally my normal size is 44. But I'm gonna put a few coats. I'm moving some few coats on that rack out there. They're all nice stuff. But if you see one over there, you're around that size, just take one. Don't. It's not the clothing exchange or K&G fashion or nothing like that. But just if there's something over there, I'm gonna wait till like tomorrow sometime when I start moving my clothes. I'm moving. My wife and I bought a new home, and we've been in the same place for 20 years. And so, man, this moving thing ain't nobody's joke. So anyway, I don't want to bore you with my stuff, but it's wearing me out, So anyway, some of my stuff, I'm just not taking it. I'm just gonna move on past it. There'll be a few things over there. Go ahead, Will.
No, I just wondering if you still got a flyers and take it back and see if they let you come home.
For to get tested.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still got a flyer. Wait till Wayne. Wayne, are you on there, Wayne? Can you print please a few more of the Thursday flyers? We may have some left.
back in the back.
Go grab them. Yeah, go grab them. Superfly, go get them things. Anyway, so that's an announcements. Am I missing an announcement? Oh, yes. Okay, one more announcement. Steve, that's Steve right there. Steve took it upon himself to initiate a pop class over at 180.
Nice.
Give him a little hand for that. Now, Steve is not. Oh, okay. Steve, hey, sweetie. Steve is. This is not his first time. He taught a class in Lino Lakes in the SO area, and he did a good job. So, Miss Lolita, I see that you're on the phone. Did you want to say something, sweetie? You muted. I can't hear you. Push your button.
No, I don't have anything to say. I'm listening to you, gentlemen.
Oh, okay. Miss Lolita, though, she got her blue glasses on. I'm gonna show her to you in a minute.
Don't see nobody.
So Steve, why don't you give us a little report on what went down over there at 180?
So the group is right after dinner, so 6 till 7.
Mm-hmm.
So last Wednesday, I wasn't able to do it last Wednesday. I was in the hospital. But I ended up doing it Thursday because the guys were really interested in doing it. So we had about 8 guys show up. We had a couple stragglers that would come in and then come out, but we had 8 guys that were really into it. There was a lot of back and forth. I ran through the mission statement. I ran through the first chapter of the book. Just giving them an understanding of what it is that we're really trying to do. I used a lot of the slogans and you know the little phrases that we get, you know, that were taught in class. So it was definitely taken, you know, in stride. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we'll have even more people, you know, just from word of mouth, you know.
And what time is it again?
From 6 till 7.
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
So I may have, I may have Tierra and to come over there and join you. Okay. And then we're gonna send some books over there, just free this time, just because it's you doing it. The books aren't free. If they have money, we can, you know, it's $10. It's $10 for a student. But I think the books will help you. Right. And I'm gonna send Tierra and maybe one other guy over there just to kind of just sit with you and just, you know, and just hold the space. Right. Somebody say hold the space.
Hold the space.
Yeah. So you know, sometimes, you know, holding the space, it seems easy, but actually there's a little something to it, right? So we want to give Steve the support that he needs to make the class a success. You'll remember that when we did our COVID-19 testing event, 180 was a full partner, and 180 sent 17 or so of their guys over to be tested. And so this was the beginning of kind of a new partnership. They have new leadership over there, and people are, you know, a little bit more receptive to being a quality partner. So we're trying to build on that, you know, and this is the second step in that whole deal. So give Steve some love, man. That's pretty good. And so then each week we'll try to have a guest. Why don't you talk about that when you go back? We might have we'll have a guest, a pop guy, you know, some guy who's been in pop a long time, made it through this and that, have be a guest. And then that way, you know, that you can continue to build interest in what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? I'm proud of you, man, you know, but it puts pressure on you not to clown yourself. Right.
Because I right. And that is fully truthful. Because I can't teach a class and talk about, you know, being a certain way and then act a fool. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So
I have to walk the same thing when I'm talking. So, you know, I can't be foolish with it.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? So it keeps me on my square, but B, you know, honestly, helping these guys, you know, transition and helping them to see some different perspectives and ways of being able to handle situations or you know, finding their own power. It makes me feel
sure.
empowered.
Absolutely. It is something about doing good has its own reward built into it.
Right.
And you know when you're doing it because the thing comes over you, right? And even when you were in the world and doing wrong as a habit, every now and then you do some good, and you know it would convict the other part of you. But I'm teaching good. Yeah, I like that. That's the first time I ever said I like that. see, that's where the first conviction really comes. It's not the court; it's in your mind. Oh my God! Yeah, the battlefield of the mind. W Fresh. That's where it's at. Yep. Man, Steve, I'm pretty proud of you. That's good. And now we're gonna go to the acts of faith. And we got a couple of new guys sitting here, and guys that you all don't know. We're gonna introduce you in a minute, but want you to go on. Somebody read the acts of faith, and got to read real loud.
Ask for what you want. There's absolutely no reason to ever settle for less than the best. The only reason I get less is because I don't ask for exactly what I want. Sometimes I may think I don't deserve more than I have.
Right.
At other times, I think I want too much. You may believe that you get. what you want. I will lose something else, or something bad would happen. To take what you already have. It's as if a waiter spirit is waiting and asking, how would you like it? Let your mind scan your life's menu. Make a decision knowing whatever I want is available.
Yes, sir.
Ask for what I want. I want it the way I want it.
Yeah.
From that moment on. Believe.
Oh, man.
It's yours.
Yes, sir.
I make my request from life clear, specific, and plentiful. And then you got the reflection. What special life would you like to order from life's limited menu?
Ooh, brother, give him a little hand. Yeah. So that was great, man. I love that reading. Somebody jump on that.
Well, I got something for that. So you know, it's saying not to take less than what you really are expecting or what you really want. So I had a hard situation about 2 weeks ago, where, you know, I've been back and forth with my ex for about 6 years. And, you know, every time that I try to progress things, you know, it just seems like there's an excuse, there's another avenue, there's always something. And I just said, you know, 6 years is a long time, and I'm out here trying to do what I got to do, and I'm trying to make things work, but it doesn't seem like you're meeting me even halfway. So I said, you know, I can't do that anymore. You know, I need somebody that's gonna be equal with me. And we just had to call it quits. You know.
Wow, that's deep.
I can't continue to hold myself back, hoping for something that is a fallacy. You know.
Wow. Give him a hand right there. That was pretty deep. Somebody else jump in. Now I want you to reflect on what his thing was first, and then you can then add your piece in. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, brother, sometimes the hardest decisions to make in our life is the best for us.
Right.
You know, if it feels like it's unhealthy to you and it's not natural that you're walking out to do, then it may be better. You know, you just talked about your walk as you talk. I had that same struggle with my sister. She wants to be a part of my life, but she knows me as the old me, brother.
Right.
She don't understand me right. You know, and when it comes to putting my best forward, sometimes from talking about the better in the mind, sometimes the thoughts will come up from my past, all the harm I've done and all the people I hurt. But then the blessing comes. I just got a $2 raise on my job. I think I was supposed August 20th, and I have seen more blessings with sober eyes than I seen with distorted.
Oh, you don't want to preacher now, boy. That's good.
And then I made history a couple days ago.
Right.
I passed it.
Right.
My driver's permit test online.
Online. Come on, give me a hand. Yeah.
So it's like the blessings just keep rolling in.
Yeah.
You know, and as they roll in, I'm comfortable because now I'm doing my best and I'm walking in integrity. And I don't have to walk behind lies to cater to nobody. So if she ain't doing your truth that you standing in, bro, hey, walk on by.
He breaks some Dionne Warwick in it. But boy, Claire got something in Cal.
When people say like when you come home, don't get in a relationship, they say like 2 years, you gotta wait 2 years, like when you trying to be sober and all that. And I was like, man, you know, I'm not trying to do that. I'm gonna do me.
Right.
But,
It's good.
I did it, but I didn't do it right. And that relationship that I was in, it failed. I could sit here in front and act like it was all her, but it was majority. I still, you know, I was just, I wasn't faithful, and I wasn't, I still had some little resentment when I was down, like, yeah, when I'm home, you know, I'm home. Wait, I'm gonna do it. And, you know, whatever, I did it, the relationship didn't work. But it wasn't because of me, but I realize now that, like, that transition stage is so precious.
Yes.
The Bible talks about, you know, a healthy relationship is kind of the key to a healthy transition.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have to take that time. I had to take that time and build myself right. If I don't take that time to get me right, I can't sit here and fully give like the appropriate amount of energy to a relationship if I'm not even right.
Sure.
I'm still half of me.
Yeah, right.
But when I got, you know, stepped into, you know, who I was supposed to be, which is an everyday process, but sometimes we come out not even knowing who we fully still are.
Right.
And then with the woman, you know,
Y'all both trying to
you know, and she's trying to figure out who we are. We trying to figure out who we are, and it's just like it's a bad mix. So that's why I think it's important in that transition stage. Like Geronimo, prime example. Geronimo didn't get in no relationship. He just stuck to his grind, kept his head low, and did what he had to do. Business owner, result of that. I mean, he stuck her free. I mean, you know, he was doing this thing. He didn't have any problem.
That's good. Give him a little hand for that. I appreciate Tia being honest about what, you know, for us, we lie about our relationships, and we really lying to ourselves, you know. And so, you know, I appreciate you being honest, and instead of trying to act like it was all on her.
Right.
You know, you was
Woody right there.
No, Woody! Look at God and brought Woody in. Hey, would y'all, everybody over there, would you slide back to the wall and slide down? Slide down, Pat. Slide down. Bring some chairs in here. And Duval, this is your conversation in here. Bring your chair. Rashad, bring you a chair. Sis, you got to come with a chair. Yeah, slide down. Slide down. Whoever that was. Come on, keep sliding.
Oh, yeah.
He there. Let's get you a chair, sir. Yeah, that's the biggest glass of all time. So anyway, somebody jump in on that. Somebody jump in on that right there. Go ahead. Say your name.
Yeah, Lamar Hamilton is my name.
We ain't seen Lamar for about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years. Let's give him. Yes, we got room. Willie, slide down. Willie, slide over to the board. Patrick, please move down. And we're going to get your son in. If he want to be in, he's in. Yep. Go ahead. Yeah. What did you hear? Woody want that chicken. Woody, don't hold Woody back from that chicken now. Go, Mr. Hampton, go ahead now. Hold up, the man is talking. Go ahead.
I've been with my wife for 40 years, guys, and I don't know no relationship that's gonna be perfect. But I can tell you the ups and downs of it is extraordinary, especially when a man and a woman have different ideals. A woman gonna be a woman, a man gonna be a man. And it ain't nothing easy about a relationship because you're gonna go through the ups and downs. The thing of being in a relationship is learning how to manage your ups and downs. especially the dining. So when I get mad at my woman, I walk out. So I already know I can whoop with you, for the 102 pounds for the wet. And my thing is being in prison, being around all that violence and around the violence on the streets and having they go to 7 sisters and we in gangs, we all from the same mom.
Wow.
I'm coming out from the same mom, 18 brothers,
Wow.
7 sisters.
Wow.
And,
What now?
So 18 brothers, 7 sisters. And, my mama wouldn't allow me to hit no woman. But speaking on this, I think Dr. Price, he got a book out called Battle of the Mind. And I think I read Joyce Meyer's book, Battlefield of the Mind. So it's 2 books I read. I think Dr. Price, a book inside I read. I went to all the classes. I completed the class. I became a teacher, a student of it inside, helping us manage the class. My war was with myself. My war wasn't with my wife. My war wasn't with the administration. But I'm gonna be honest with you too, Dr. Price. I was going through some things when I got out. My case, I was trying to get it up off of me. So I started testing. And Dr. Price was the only one came through for me with helping me get the DNA, all that stuff to the cure, right? So now I'm in the courts and they finna release that. Now I'm fighting for a pardon because I got my minister's license. I took it inside. I got my PhD in my pocket. I got all that. I got my PhD, my doctorate, my master's. I got all this since I've been out. They even asked me 100,000 times to come to the class. I made excuses. And then I wasn't making excuses, but I was on the street at one time, sleeping on Lake in Chicago. I left Salvation Army because I wasn't going to be, I said, if I'm down the street, I'm not going back there to the pension. So I left because there was more drugs in that Salvation Army than it was on the street.
Wow.
And I said, before I go back, I'll sleep out here. I said, right there on Lake in Chicago on the street. And when I read this right here, it says, there is absolute no reason to ever settle for less than the best. While I was out there on Lake in Chicago, I put it in my mind to learn. Because I seen all the alcohol. I seen the new business they just put up over there. I think they said it's for brain people, for people who got brain surgery. They go stay in that hotel. And I looked at how these people were looking at us. Because every day if I was getting up in the morning, I get up real early in the morning before the sun come out. And I would wake up in that bus stop right when that door opened at 6 o'clock. And I started observing how people was looking at us. And I remember Dr. Price's book that I read. It talks about you can tell yourself anything, but you can't lie to your heart. And I don't know why I remember that part of that book. But that book said that. That book said you can lie to everybody around you, but you can't lie to yourself. Basically what it said was mean to me. I can't lie, my heart can't lie to me. And I remember that. And I started to align myself with Tom Roy, EOC commissioner. I started having him as a mentor. I started calling Shane Price. Even though he was busy, he didn't answer the phone just to hear his voice aligned with me with that saying that when, everybody won't leave prison, y'all, we see you. You'll be back. I had made up my mind, I'm down the street, I'm not going back. I had made my mind. I still got that in my mind to this day.
That's right.
So I lined myself up with people that I know that was in administration, and I started going down to the county jail. I went to workforce action. I started going to workforce action. Workforce action lined me up with drug court, where I could go in and sit and look at drug people every day. I seen guys that were Hercules when they was inside, and then when they got out on the street, you see how they looked because they been smoking and drinking. And I didn't down them, but in a way I was like that because I didn't smoke or drink, but I was on the street hustling, doing the things that could get me back into that group.
Now, let me grab you because I don't want you to no one to dominate the group, but you know, this is your first time and I want for you to learn what we're doing. But one question I want to ask you from this reading, the reading is saying that you have to ask yourself for the best and that you have no right to settle for less. What is your thinking now about that comment?
Well, I wasn't gonna settle for less. I started after I observed that for that month. And so then I started activating RRC. I checked in and there. That's at the time that they can go in and meet and stuff like that. They can't do it no more. But, and then my mindset now is that I got my PhD. I've been called around to minister, pastor, and I give my life story to youngsters on the street when I hear the shooting. When I hear about the shooting, drive-bys, and killing and stuff.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna ask you the question again. What is it about you now that will cause you not to settle for second?
Seeing what I see out there on the street.
There you go. There you go. Give him some love. Lamar's been through it. Y'all can tell he's been through it. All of us got a story, but he's been through it. I'm glad to have you sitting here. But now, if you want to come back on Thursday, right at kitty corner from here, you got to get COVID-19 tested because everybody in here is tested, and then we have our results, so everybody knows everybody's negative. If you're not, if I'm not talking to you, and you haven't been tested, Thursday at 10 a.m. kitty corner from this building, that's where the test is going to take place. My expectation is that you respect the health of everybody else that's in the group by getting tested. Somebody said get tested. You know, but give Lamar another hand and welcome him. Somebody else jump in on this particular reading. Somebody go in. Go ahead.
For me, when I don't ask for what I want, it came up a lot with my family. We be scared to ask, you know, and I learned probably almost 2 or 3 weeks ago. You got to ask. My brother going through some stuff. You know, I've been back here 3 months, and I see the family going through a lot of things. I just pray, man, and God just showing me these days and times that things can change if you go ahead and ask the loved ones. Because see, like this reader said, you have to ask for what you want and yourself, but not what's the best.
Patrick got it.
And I'm going through a transformation of being home out of all this time. I haven't been back for 4 years. I've been home for 4 years now, and I've been blessed to see that it's a change in me. It took a long time for me to realize that, Calvin, there's another thing going on with you. Ain't nobody gonna be able to see but you and that man up there. And around you, you're gonna see a lot of stuff. I've been hurting, I've been struggling, but I've been steadfast. Even like what you saying. You know, I come back to you because I know if I come here, I can be able to get some kind of feeling in my mind that I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when I miss group, you know, I struggle a lot. And just me being able to, like my brother, he just moved around. Everybody know the north side gonna shoot it up. Everybody. It's just so weird that I have to be in a situation now that, okay, I got to talk to my family a little bit more because I don't think they got that point of me being on the world. I don't think they got that in their mind that there's something going on today. And they don't know how to talk to the family. Even if the situation, you know, at least something happens. But I'm just going around learning now. You got to ask people for what you want. Because sometimes it will be at that moment we can all have a breakdown because we're scared to let somebody know we need something. Right. And today, just by me being here and y'all seeing me, man, I'm blessed to be here with y'all. But I do have to leave y'all. And I say this. I got my license. And you see the license. So
Give my little hand for that.
Man, because I'm leaving soon. And y'all keep me in mind.
We're down south.
I am a pop guy. Pop guy? If I don't think about it, I ain't back where I used to be. So Y'all keep me in mind. I got my number on there. If anybody wants to call, y'all can call. I got the Minnesota number.
And you know, Cal is good about calling in from Mississippi. Mississippi, that's where he was at. And then you know who I'm missing is
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
Kelly.
He's over in Alabama, right? Yeah, we got to give him a call. Hey, Wayne, call Mr. Kelly up in Alabama right now. See if we can get him on the phone.
That's my guy.
You got a good job. Yeah, that's good. This is a good subject, though. I don't want to miss it. There's some more meat on this bone. Somebody else going in. 1, 2, and who's the third one?
I can say when he said there's absolutely no reason to ever settle for less than the best. The only reason you get less is because you ask for exactly what you get. And a lot of that is on DeAndre. I'm in a situation where I have a lot of support. I have a lot of people I can talk to. I've been away for a while, as everyone probably has, but I have low self-esteem. You know, and sometimes it's hard to tell somebody that I got low self-esteem, and I will settle for less than what I should actually be having. Wow. And but in that discovery, is a recovery. Yeah. Because now I'm not ashamed of it to say, man, look, I'm thinking ain't right, man. I've been in jail, around guys, so you know, my scheme ain't that high, man. It's not out here in the street with people. You know what I'm saying? I got fears of my fears, low self-esteem, and, you know, and I don't think I deserve the best sometimes. You know, and I've had a good woman, man, and when I had that woman, all I thought about was, man, did she really like me? Wow. Is this for real? Is this? I'm in my own way. I'm learning to ask for the best for myself. You know, I'm starting to realize I deserve it. Wow. You know, I deserve the best. Wow.
Good. That's real good. Yeah, thank you for that, man, for being so candid.
I love him.
You know, and you know, sometimes that early childhood trauma would cause us to, you know, to not socialize in a way that makes us feel comfortable or equal to, you know, somehow like the situation seems too much at that moment. But the truth of the matter is, this dude's got a great personality. He's got a style, and he's very intelligent and well read. So if you just stick with that, give him another hand. Jerome coming next. Thank you, son.
Yeah, Jerome Kimbo, Pop Guy.
Pop Guy.
Yeah, I just want to say a little something because even in the Bible, Jesus said, "You have not because you ask not." And with me, pride would step in the way. Pride would get in the way. And I have this saying that I'll get it when I can. Or if I don't have the money to get it, or I won't ask nobody because of my pride. I'll get it whenever I get the money to get it, or I'll do this whenever I can. And a lot of that was pride. A lot of it was I want people to think that I'm doing well, so I won't ask nobody for nothing. And God gives blessings through other people. And your blessing might just be around the corner. But if you ask if you don't ask, your blessing just goes away. Now, I have this thing about myself, this saying that I use and that I live by. I don't worry about what I don't have and be content with what I do. And somehow that gets mixed up with not asking for what I want.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure this thing out myself.
Good point. Did you hear that? That was a great point. Because sometimes you can get comfortable with less. Just because you don't complain about it, don't make less feel a good hand. I don't hear nobody, and you can get a better hand. You know what I mean? And this other thing that Jerome said, I think is important for this group, that peer pressure, because sometimes when you get out and then look like he doing better, and you don't want to say nothing, but you'd be wondering how come I ain't hitting them like that.
Yeah, sure.
You don't want to say nothing, but you know it's there. You get it? But the idea I think about a group like this is that we try to pull each other up to our next level. And your next level may not necessarily be what that fella's next level is. But next level is still next level.
Yeah.
Somebody say next level.
Next level.
Each one of us have a next level to get to. And the next level isn't germane to anybody else. It's only relevant to you. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, and that energy that we create here is, is what allows us individually to, to strive to do and be our best where we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think, so, I am, and, I love myself to the degree in which I do, but I'm not content. You know what I'm saying? Because I still don't think I'm living my best life.
Right.
Now I'm striving. I'm striving, and I understand that me striving, being a family man, having a purposeful life, and keep walking in that walk is what will eventually get me all the way back. Right?
Yeah.
That there is no such thing as, waiting until I fulfill this certain idea of perfection before I feel like I can make it.
That's good. That's good.
I think that, sometimes I think we fall in the false pressure that we can't be, valuable, lovable, and powerful and important outside ourselves because we think because we're not where we want to be, that how that means that we're not valuable of love, right? And what I'm saying, man, is that irregardless where we at in our level of development, that's when your life starts. And we make a contribution, from that point onward, and you don't worry about the flaws because the flaws don't define you. But what we do with our life will, right? So I'm at a point in my life that, although I'm not content with where I'm at, and, because that struggle for self-mastery is a hard struggle.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? It's a hard struggle, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, but at the same time, I don't waste time getting caught up in whatever flaws I may or may not have because I'm too busy trying to do the work. You know what I'm saying? I'm too busy trying to do the work.
That's good. Give him some. That was a lot. We'll drop some nuggets there. He got some nuggets. Just throw something in. Can I throw something in? Yes. Somebody say throw it in. Listen to this. You can't wait for all the lights to be green before you go.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Can I throw it in? Say throw it in. Listen to it again. Listen to it again. You cannot wait for all the lights to be green before you go.
I needed that.
I can unpack that, but Duval's ready now. I'm saying he had his hand up.
I mean, this story right here, is all about myself. And like Papa just told me, you have to take care of yourself Struggling, yes. Not asking, no. And I got the best brothers ever. Big time. I'm talking about guys I be around constantly every day. Brother I can call on anytime, and I mean they will come from Beirut to come and get me, to see me, you know, and
Sit down.
but I put myself in situations and
Wait a minute.
you
Listen
know,
to him now.
I put myself in situations. That's some of my flaws right there, and get me back in prison, like you just said, you know, not asking, not communicating, you know, and dealing with drama. It seems like it's always there. But it's, you know, when I look at it, sometimes I say I'm the drama problem.
Yeah.
But I have to take a look at, don't keep getting the hammer and beat yourself, because you know you're doing right, but you got the wrong people around you, your surroundings. So that's what I struggle with right there, trying to people please. And that's been some of my flaws going back to the penitentiary. And I know better. If I know better, I should do better with that part. So I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm always I was just telling my parole and my caseworker yesterday. I was just telling them, I said, man, I'm doing it. They said, yeah, you're doing it, but you got to do it the right way. You know, and I'm like, wait, you know, like they read my mail.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, you read my mail for, but here it is again. It's true. Talking about it, telling it about it. And my brothers know, because they know I talk their ears in front of some, but I be running from them. Because sometimes you hate to hear the truth. You know, one of my brothers right there, he don't play no games with me. I be like, man, I be running from him. Because he get worried. That man came up to St. Cloud like 2 or 3 times on the motorcycle. Him and his wife gone. Oh, what is going on? You ain't called, you ain't checked in, because it's always the running thing. I'm always running. That's some of my flaws right there. But I'm getting it better, man. I started communicating now and talking to her, you know, asking for help. You know, so yeah, I mean that's my story right there. This picture.
Give Duval some love. Let me throw this in behind that, but I'm just throwing this piece in. You know, if this fits for you, then wear it. But if not, you know, just let it go for the next guy. But see, one of the things that TL was trying to say when he came forward earlier in this conversation was, you know, he was saying, I allowed that relationship I was in to define me. And I pulled out my definition of self from her. Say her. Her. Or if you're her, say him. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, y'all missed it. We ain't gonna hold it against you now. It's all love. But watch this. Watch this though. So when we were younger men, whether or not we was getting some was important to our definition about ourselves. I'll wait for all the amens. And if you wasn't getting none, then there was some kind of a stigma, you know, that you didn't want to deal with. Is that right or wrong? Now that's what it was like in those days. Say those days. None of us here are living in those days. We're not living in these days. This is what Tierra was talking about. You have to have some self-determination. Kujitagalia, that's the Swahili word. You have to have some form of self. Say self. Yeah. So you know your happiness is defined by you. You're getting some joy. You have that as a responsibility. You'll hear now of successful marriages who have wealth say stuff like, I'm not here just to make you happy. You have to figure out what makes you happy.
That's right.
And then in that determination, we might be able to be happy. if you find your happiness between somebody else's legs, whoever it is. Am I being clear tonight? If your happiness and your self-determination is only defined behind what's between someone's legs, you're shallow in your living, and that thing is going to close up on you. See what I mean? So anyway, I could go further with that, but I'm gonna just leave it right there. But we're teasing out some very important things that we stumble around. Rashad, you're next. Go ahead, and I'm coming back to you, Lamar. Mr. Powell, he was awful quiet. He'd be always quiet. So after Rashad, Mr. Powell, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on with this one, which we really dive in. But somebody spoke to me earlier about self-esteem, and I think a lot of, they were right. A lot of the reasons that we don't ask for the things that we want/need is we have our own self-esteem issues, and I think that's personally something that I've had to address because I even wrote it down. I've been in situations where I've been afraid to ask for something, and then someone else asked for the thing that I was going to ask for, and they get it. And I'm sitting there mad at them now. You know what I'm saying? On some jealousy stuff. Like all I had to do was like, and I thought like how that sometimes births envy and the hatred that we have for other people is birthed off of them just not being afraid to step up and ask for something. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You sitting back mad at them because you were too cowardice to step up and ask for what you really wanted. And that's what it really is. So, and there's a saying, a coward dies 1,000 deaths and a soldier just once. You know? Every time that happens to you, it's like you die inside. You know what I'm saying? I realized that moving forward. And I wrote down also, asking also doesn't mean the answer is going to be yes. And that's something that I've had to kind of realize as well. Like, yeah, you ask not because you have not because you ask not, but just because you ask doesn't always mean the answer is going to be yes. Right. But continuing to ask is what will get you the prosperity that you want, right? So just because you knock on one door and it don't open, you can't be like, well, I'm going home now. My job's done here. It's like, no, you gotta keep moving around. Like I can't help but reflect on my own personal situation. But even with building this app and website, there were so many times where I literally got the door slammed in my face. Like, you crazy. Right. Like people literally laughing at me. Like, you crazy. And if I would have like stuck with that, this thing would have never been where it is now. You know what I'm saying? So nobody understands greater than me that you got to keep knocking on these doors, man. And like for me, that's the easy part. The street life was the hard part. If all I got to do is ask a question, do you know how many times my networking has just been asked like, hey, what are you doing? What do you do for a living, man? Literally, just inquiring on that level can open up a conversation that could get you employed, and you don't even know who you sit next to half the time. So. That's kind of what I got. Wow,
yeah, that boy's growing up. 1 second. Go ahead, Ms. Powell, what you got? Yep, we all going through something, son. Everybody, just share a little bit. All right, we're glad to see you though. Sis, what you got?
Okay, so there's absolutely no reason to ever settle for less than I am. Always settled for less in my life. I've settled for less in men and other things. But I always try to make it the best, and it was always on me to take somebody from there to there, and then look around and they go on about their business, and I'm still sitting there broke, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm doing for myself. I have had help. That's one thing I wanted to address with my pop brother is y'all don't understand. My brother has helped me come from nowhere to somewhere. But every time that I say something, y'all, if it don't apply to you, then just don't even do it. don't say, go ask Shane, your brother will help you. You know, because that's what my brother does for me is what he does for me. But y'all, I'm trying to stand on my own 2 feet, and I'm doing a good job, and take care of me, which I have very low self-esteem. I thought that I had self-esteem. I thought that I was all that. You know what I'm saying? But I never took care of Reese. Okay, and I'm trying to do that now. I have had a lot of help, but sometimes you can ask for too much or depend on somebody too much. So I'm trying, I got the basics right now. Now I want to do some other things, like get my peer recovery license so that I can, help women, which I'm already sponsoring and stuff, but I want to make a difference now, and I always wanted to make a difference, but it was in the lifestyle. I was making a difference, everything was, a show, Now I'm just trying to do what I can do for myself, and it feels good. But I had a little situation that happened. I'm gonna run it real quick. Okay, so there's a person in the building, and they have, kept on trying to get pregnant with me, and I hooked them up with something. Anyway, they called me on my phone because I told them, don't come by my house, call me first. They called me on the phone because they had asked me to do something, and I sat around and they didn't come, so I would have to go to the doctor's appointment. And they called me on the phone and said, yeah, now that you got that little car, you're running around all the time, and you're running around and you can't sit still. And I was like, you don't even know me for a month, and how dare you talk to me like that? And that's exactly what I told them. I said, you need some boundaries. I'm not you, I don't know what you think or who you've been talking to, but you're not going to talk to me like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Give him a little bit. Right. Well, and she did get a little new car though. That's you know what I mean. You know how you do when you give her a hand for the new car. The red Corvette. But what's up? Who that we have next? Doug, go ahead.
Dougie Fresh, Buckeye.
And then Larry, you next after that. You ain't got to go yet.
I just want to pump on what brother said, that the part about settling for whatever come along, that low hanging fruit. And throughout my addiction and my street life, if something didn't come my way, or things that I did ask for, or a job interview, or something that I was striving for, and it didn't work out for me, I would always fall back to the drugs. Always.
Wow.
It's I'm not good enough. I'm worthless. See, once again, it's not working out for me. And but now, when I ask for something, I have the support of all my brothers here that keep me pumped up.
Wow.
The juice that I get fed every single week. And if it's something now that doesn't go well for me, I always fall back on my guys, and I'm valuable, powerful, lovable, and important.
Yes,
that if it doesn't work out, by the grace of God, I'm okay. Yeah. And I'm going to strive for something better.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an example.
Come on.
About a year ago, I applied for a different job. And I was all set. I was happy. It was going to be good for me, but I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Now it's just like hurt, bad. And I'm like, here we go again. And like back to my addiction, I would have was like, forget it. I ain't important enough. I'm not. This ain't for me.
Yeah.
They're seeing, my bad side of myself.
Right.
But now, I always fall back on the power people that, it's okay.
That's all right.
If I'm strong, I can always handle the bad news, handle the bad things that happen.
Good.
And come along December, I get a job that's even better than that was for me before.
Right.
So it's not always what you ask for. You know, at the time with God and things lining up for you, we may ask, but it might not be at that time.
There you go.
It will come.
There you go. There you go.
Stay strong,
Positive. Listen to
positive.
Doug. Come on. Come on, Fresh. Come on. Give him some love and that's why you're fresh over there. Bad man. He's a bad man. He don't want to tell you, but he's trying to buy him a house. I'm just putting his business in the street. I'm putting his business in the street. The guys from Prop 2, these guys are Prop 2, man, they looking for houses. They ain't switching out to no apartments. They switching out to their own houses. Y'all don't even hear me, though. Larry Harris, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna say.
What you gonna say?
You know, I sort of went for the last part of going to church and stuff like that because I knew that even though it was the house of the Lord, that wasn't bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I told my friend, listen, we're not going to a hooping and hollering and all of that and bringing this book. Just if they don't come up out of here, they can say anything out of their mouth. And then as they got speaking and stuff like that, I opened the book up and I showed them. I said, this is what the book says. And they put their own word in the book. You can't add to the book and you cannot take away from the book. So,
wow.
Going that church because it was closer to the house, I saved some time. And I kind of knew, you know, in my heart, you know, it was, you know, and I went to church to judge me when I went there to praise God. With my mouth, you know. And so as I always said in the back, you know, and I watched the air screens and I listened and all the hugging and hooping and all the men when they had backwards, you know. It bothered me, man. So I knew that I had to come up and look at it. So I went to go to church Sunday, and God next door, I never even seen him. He said, you know, my lady said, and I was like, what do you mean? He said, it's not open. I said, well, I gotta go and see for myself. You know me, I'm dressed like I'm going. And I went over there and I was dressed and he was like, nah, we're not open anymore, we're online. And later, sitting outside, they would tell me why. And so as I was moving on, that's when I found out that mostly everybody on the stage.
Yeah, don't, I'm gonna stop you right there. We don't need that.
Well, anyway, yeah. Well, I saw it for less, but then as I spoke to other people, you know, they informed me.
Larry, that's what I want. You know what? That obviously that puts something on you that you would bring that up here. You know, but I want you to just think back to what we are talking about right now.
Yeah.
Asking for what you want. And so how associate that story with you asking for what Larry Harris wants?
Because you know what, Larry Harris didn't have the best that he could possibly have when he went to the stage. He went to the lowest part that I
got it. That's it. And that's
when I did ask, I was informed that it's a good church.
Yeah. That's come on, give me something. Now that's the point. You know, all of that other thing, you know, yeah, we you know, that's neither here or there. Yeah. But Larry, let me just say, Larry is doing a tremendous job and we couldn't be more proud of you here. And you know, nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. And people make mistakes. And sometimes if you check something out and it's the flavor not quite right, move around. Somebody say move around. That's what y'all used to say when I was coming to teach you up there in the class. You used to say, no, kick rocks. That's what you got to do. Come on now. Yeah. Somebody else jump in who ain't been in here. Pat, come on. Pull that chair up so you can sit down. You got to go? What? Oh, you got to move around, huh?
Yeah.
You leaving off early, son. I don't know about that. I'm gonna call that boy.
Hey, I ain't moving there.
Give him a hand.
All right.
Give him a hand. Pat, excuse me, Pat got the floor. Go ahead.
All right.
Thank you. Doug, you gone?
I'm gonna give Larry right home.
Okay. All right. That's good. No, you just down the street. You gonna sit down. Sit down. You sit down. Sit down. You're fine. Yeah. You're fine. Just right down the street. Come on. Go ahead.
Patrick Love, Bay. And, you know, one of the things that how this pertains to me is, you know, the reason I didn't always had the frame of mind that, you know, whatever I get out of life is what I get out of life is because I didn't think too much of myself in life. And, you know, whether it was whatever I thought was coming to me, relationships, people that were involved in my life, anything that I got, anything that I came across. You know, I never asked for anything better, so I settled for whatever it was. You know, one of my downfalls was my thinking. I was always my worst enemy. And so, you know, if I came across people, situations, something bad happened, you know, chalk it off and, you know, just try to say, okay, hey, it is what it is. Move on from it. You know, I was asked a question one time by a therapist and it said, you know, what are some of the good things that you could be proud of in life? I couldn't answer the question. Wow. I couldn't answer the question. Which actually, in all actuality, as bad as things seem to be what they were, I had my life to be proud of. I didn't realize that at the time. You couldn't tell me that that was something for me to be proud of. And so, you know, and thinking back, and you know, I'm a lot older now. I can't say I'm a lot wiser, but a lot older.
Come on now.
And so, you know, just understanding that if you ask for better, you put yourself in a frame of mind to start to accept that, instead of just accepting anything.
That's right.
So that's something that, you know, I can truly say that I'm learning to do and to be more open-minded about, because God is definitely going to see you through it all.
Wow, that's good. That was Rich. Go ahead, Wood.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm gonna come back to
you
that.
know, I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. I was telling guys in the group, I said, I remember when I was a youngster, man, I was cracked out in Oakland, man. I was walking, with all my money, I was walking down the street, and had like 80-something cents. I had this phone 2 years old or something like that. With all my money, so I walked down the street to Oakland, and I was hungry. I had to play Pioneer Chicken. 2 pieces and a biscuit was like $1.16.
Yeah.
I had about 70 cents. And so I started begging the check.
Come on, Don.
Man, so I got enough money. I got the biscuit and went across the street. And then I looked around. Hey, this how you do that?
Yeah.
I said, man, you was wearing $1,000 alligator, Cadillac. This is a young man. This jewelry the whole nine.
Yeah.
Look how far you done fell.
Wow.
You begging for check.
My Lord. My Lord.
Begging for check.
My Lord.
And that was the beginning of it. I can't. And so I'm patient today. You know, I'm thankful for what God and where His brought me from. You know what I mean? I got vision board. Every year I do a vision board. You know, and it's amazing. I've set it up there and stuff starts happening. And the lady said, Tanae Wells taught me that. And so this came when I was there, I said, what's that, man?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's my vision board.
Right.
He said, woo-wee! You gonna live like that?
Yeah. Amen. That's right.
Best days are ahead of me.
Yes, that's good.
We had a pack a long time ago. And I'm holding on. I'm not letting go. So I buy all the fancy books and art for living and all the best of the best.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I was at the lowest.
Wow.
Yeah, God's got some for each of them if you want it.
If you want it.
If you want it.
Come on, give him some love. Right there, I love that boy. Will, what you got? Second Will.
I'm just, I'm listening, a lot of times you just gotta be quiet. That thing,
Well, that's
I'm
good.
thinking of nothing.
That's
I
right.
got a pocket full.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
What's up is that, that content thing, I was trying to be there, trying to be content. I'll be content with this. I'll be content with that. I want a better job. Only apply for one.
You're right. the math don't allow it.
I mean, and I was disappointed when I didn't get it. That's it, that's it. I've been exercising a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask. I was in here tonight asking. I think I asked Brother there you go.
Yeah.
And this is our network. You know what I'm saying? So me and Willie was talking about another group that was working. And they don't tell you about what kind of potential.
Yeah, right.
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 To you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's all about I said, I don't want to like this or hear none of this. Man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I know I had to come this way.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I asked for what I want, and it's starting to come. Now, yesterday, I got out May 12th. May 3rd, October 13th. Been out 5 months. And I'm expecting, I'm expecting everything to come.
Yeah.
I want it to come right now.
That's right.
Mine is here, there,
Yeah.
trying to grab it, you know what I'm saying? And I got people running, man, slow down a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Pumped and break.
But okay, well, but when he's gonna come, you know what I'm saying? What got me in trouble is greed. That's what got me in the
Wait a minute. I just want you to make sure everybody heard that.
Yeah.
What got you in prison for 40 years?
Greed. Straight greed. You know what I'm saying? Got pockets full of money, but I want more.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I ended up taking lies
Wow.
to get more. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That has to stop. You know what I'm saying? I made myself stop that because I took it to the prison.
Right.
Moving around here and there, and I have to stop. And I definitely don't want that demon to pop back up again.
Yeah, right.
Because I ain't got this.
Right.
Patience. What this brother was talking about. I got that now. I have patience. But although I have patience, my mind is still, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I need to get it, I need to have it.
Yeah.
And the main thing I've heard here is ask for what you want. You know what I'm saying? Don't settle for less, settle for the best.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
And what Woody was just saying is, and I want you to just hear this, it's magic.
Right.
If you could take something out of your mind, or a want or a need or a dream, and you can write it clearly on a piece of paper, it becomes something different. And if you would sit there, Will, and just put 3 things, you don't have to exhaust, it doesn't have to be an exhaustible list, just 3 things. This is what I will do by then. Here's what I'll have by here. This is what I'll do before this. 3 things. But every day, when you brush your teeth or before that time, just look at them and consider your own thinking.
That's right.
It's worthy. It's worthy of consideration. That's right. And watch this. And if bring them next week, I'll put them on this wall.
Oh, really?
And then we'll go over them every week, because the things that you can extrapolate from your mind and put them on paper, it then becomes a scripture. So write down the vision and make it plain upon tablets.
Okay. Yeah.
So that when men come, they may run with it. It says, although the vision may tarry for a time, nevertheless, it shall meet its appointed course. Huh?
Wow.
See what I mean? See? I'll give y'all a little example. So when the other Will was going for his house. Right, what's this? Will, they getting ready to go for their first house. Say first house. Uh-huh. Wait. You can't have two until you have your first. But after you have, then you can have. Watch this. Right. Somehow we got to a second house. Let me backpedal. To the first house. Say first house. So for the first house, Will and them, they went looking. For your first house, the normal standard is, you get in, your first one is not the Big Mac, it's usually it's a step. Say a step. So for the first house, you might spend in this market, you might spend $250, $260, $270. First house, say first house. Now if you want 3 houses, you had to first have one seat. Look, I'm just checking your math to see if you understand what I'm saying. That's it. Somebody say, I want 3 houses. I like how you said that. So then what you got to do is first have one house. Watch this. Who might know what I'm talking about? So Will, he said, Pop, we looked and we didn't see nothing, and this and that. I don't hear no flavor from them. But then they kept looking, and all of a sudden, he is calling me like 3 or 4 times. Will, if he calling you 3 times back around, that mean, stop what you're doing and,
That's right.
So I said, okay. I said, Will, what's going on? What is it? He said, Pop, you got to get out here. I'm like, but I heard that thing. Somebody said that thing. He said, Pop, you got to get out here, man. This is where it is at. Here's the address. I'm gonna text you the address. You got to get out here. I'm like, oh, it's that. I get the GPS, this and that. Man, look, Will got me over here. I'm headed out by Lino and Lake. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, where are we going? And around the airport out there, something like this here. I don't see nothing, but I do notice the neighborhood has changed. I'm waiting for all the amens to die down. Somebody say the neighborhood has changed. Now then, when I get into the foot of the house, Lamar, that he told me to, man, it was like would it had a little driveway, and then the garage was sitting there all good, like you could just push the button. Somebody say push the button. And then there's a little creek, some little stream flowing down. And then when I get there, we'll stand up. He's like, he got that one way about him. I said, like, look, he got some swaggadocious on it. I'm like, he's like, come on in, bro. Come on in. When I go into this place, man, look, it's a palace. It's so beautiful. This is not your first house step. This could even be your third house step. But the first house step didn't get his motor running. Right. They couldn't find that first step, so they jumped from the first step to the third step on all in one route. And the people said, yeah, but you got to come up with X amount of dollars. Man, and Will said, man, she wants it, Pop. She wants it. Somebody say, I loved it. I loved it.
Taking care of wisdom.
I loved it. He said, wait a minute. And the doctor's on now. He said, taking care of wisdom. Yeah. Is knowledge. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. She is wisdom.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Watch this. So watch this. He said, Pop, she wants this house. And I'm going, this is his exact words. He said, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure she gets it. Wait. No. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me go back because you don't forgot what I'm talking about. Watch this. It says there's absolutely no reason for you to settle for the first step if you know you can take the third step right off the jump. Let's settle right here. Look right on the paper.
Yes.
The people said, wait a minute. The people said, no, you got to come up now over here. You got to come up with that 20K. What's that 20K?
20K.
Wait, touch somebody else. Say 20K. Touch somebody else.
20K. 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 20K.
20K. Isaac, you need a touch. Touch it. 20.
Hurry up, touch Isaac. 20K.
See, look what I'm saying to you. See, but then you hadn't thought that you was able to come up with the 20K. But the truth of the matter is, if he could do it, you can do it, but you have to write down the vision and make it plain. You want another job, but you only apply for one. So and then for my life sons, I'm just gonna go there with you right now. For my life son, you really can't waste no time. Now you got to get you a job that's gonna get at least 10 years from you so that you get a pension. So you need a pension and Social Security and whatever money you got saved so that in the late show, somebody say the late show. In the late show, you don't have to be begging nobody or waiting on $7.25 a month. Don't be mad. You can't be waiting around on that, especially if old boy hits the presidency again. That $7.25 is not going to be there. I don't hear nobody. I'm trying to help.
Come on, doctor.
So look, you can't be wasting no time. Now you're getting antsy about the first job. Well, you can get a second job after you got the
First job.
You have you can start pursuing and you pursue it with some degree of strict mustard because you can prove that you've been on a job a year or how many ever months and you showed up. The first thing about any job, I don't care what your assignment is that you show up. Somebody say show up. Yeah, the world is run by people who
Show up.
And the ones who don't show up, we are the victims of the ones who do. I don't hear nobody.
Come on, doctor. Preach it.
People, look. Going on too long, I didn't mean to. But I'm just trying to say, this thing that you're reading right here, this is about you. This is reality. Now here's Dougie Fresh, who was just sitting right there. Dougie Fresh said, Pop, I done gave him all my papers. I'm trying to qualify for my house. He lives at the Pop House. At the Pop House, his rent is, his credit is good. Say credit is good.
Credit is good.
I'm just telling you the truth. If you're in here, don't be mad. He ain't late. He might have been late 1 or 2 times ever, but he called me ahead of time. Hey, Pop, I ain't gonna have it today, but the day after tomorrow, I'm gonna have it. You appreciate that because it says, I respect whatever it is you have to do to make this thing available to me. And because of that, I want you to know what my intentions are.
Say it.
That's manning up. Don't be, I ain't judging nobody. Everybody's different. But now he says, I have turned over my information to the pre-qualified. So that when he leaves the Pop House, say the Pop House.
The Pop House.
Louder than that. Pop House. Yeah. So he could go to his house.
Praise God.
And I gotta get out of here. I gotta get to my box.
Give him his box.
I'm under the tape.
Did you get something out of the group?
No, without a doubt.
Okay, but now you know we need you to. Look at this thing. What he got? Well, I'm tempted to make you turn that thing on. But you got to get COVID tested.
Okay, yo, Thursday.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Across the street.
What is that? A boom box?
Look like a boom box.
Give Lamont a little hand. You know. Mark. Yeah. Go.
I wanted to add.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The first thing, this is crazy because I feel like I reached a whole nother level with this. On the 4th of this month will have marked the 9th year I've been out of prison.
Wow.
What bugs me out is I didn't realize it until it was like 7 days after. Like, oh man, I've been out of prison for like this October 4th, 2011. My ISR, I can't even say it anymore. ISR agent drove me to where I was gonna be living. So I'm really happy about that because like it shows me just how far I've come and in a sense how far we've come as a group. Because my first stop was like here. You know what I'm saying? When I got out.
Wow.
So yeah, I thank you brothers for that because every victory that I have, every victory that y'all have, I personally feel somewhat responsible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I wanted to make sure I said that.
That's good.
And there was one more thing. I told you guys about my and this is also because of this group. I told y'all about my neighbors. Dude was strangling this girl in the hallway, and you know they got whatever they got going on. I walked into the laundry room this past week, last Thursday, doing my laundry. And dude got his girl on the floor in the laundry room, having one of them. And I walked in like, hey, man, look, whatever y'all got going on, that's y'all business. It ain't going to happen here, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I let him know. I got nothing. Look, I know couples get into it. I understand that me and my girl get into it, but I'm trying to raise a family next door. Y'all going to have to take that somewhere else because every time it happens, I'm calling the authorities. Period. So fix that now, bro. I ain't got nothing against you. But you're not gonna be hurting this woman in my presence at all. Like that's not how it's going down. And he looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, you're right." I was like, "Y'all need to get some couples therapy." These people older than me. Like, I'm like,
Tell them to make an appointment with Dr. Webb.
Help me out. I can get y'all to.
Look, you want to bring him to pop? Give him a hand.
I just realized I had to like take a step back, like, yo, I'm here having like a couples therapy counseling in the laundry room in my building, like spitting straight top language though, like trying to empower these people. Like, y'all ain't gotta do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, man, if they only knew who they was talking to, you know what I'm saying? It was a really dope experience. So that was just something else I wanted to put on the table. Like, man, that's the expectation we gotta set when you see something going on. Pop has empowered us to say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a whole new level of psychology. You know what I'm saying? You got to impart on some of these people.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Congratulations to 9 years, man. That's good. Ananias, what you got?
For sure. And the most powerful thing that resonated is what you said when you said that, because I do too. A lot of my strength derives from this group right here. You know, I'm able to stay in my routine and focus because I come in this group everybody doing their own thing. I'm very proud of that. So let me know that, you know what I'm saying, that I am doing what I'm doing. And I'm sure everybody's proud of me.
Amen.
So yeah, I think that is that. I mean, a lot of us. I realized that because I said it before. This group is my food. It feeds me every week.
That's right.
So if I don't make it, it's because I really had something else. Yeah, another place I need to be if I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna always do it.
Wow.
No matter what.
Me too.
That is a paycheck, day week, or
Yeah.
just a regular Tuesday.
Yeah. Yes, right. Yes, right.
And I'm gonna volunteer my time and all of it.
the overall thing just for the pop over.
Yeah.
But speaking to this,
Excuse me. He's talking.
speaking to this, for a long time, I would always be afraid to enter into any kind of relationship, rather it be friendship or rather it be romantic or something like that, because I've always felt like, you know, to enter in relationships with people, these people have to get to know you, you know? And it was like I had this shame over my past.
Yes, sir.
So as long as
That's
I had
right.
that shame over my past, I always play the back of the bus. I'll just sit in the back of the bus and keep my mouth there, won't say nothing. You know, but I was uncomfortable.
They done?
I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted so much more. And it just hit me. Like, what are you afraid of? How are you so afraid to get into a relationship with people? People are just like you. They got past.
That's right.
You know? They're probably afraid just like you. You know? So I had to find a way to kind of ease into who I am.
Yeah.
And be honest about who I am. What I bring to the table. So now I find myself when I'm in conversation with people, strangers, letting them know, listen, you only have one life.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to go for what it is that you want in your life. Every door is not going to open for you. More doors are going to close in your face than they are going to open. But your persistence, your energy, your positive energy, your desire, your drive, and that's how I have been operating. I've been operating with the idea and the belief that I can do anything that I want to do.
That's right.
And if he says no to me, I'll ask him. If he says no to me, I'll ask him. If he says no to me, I'll ask her. If she says no to me, I'll ask him.
Come on, get some love.
I put an offering on the first house.
Right.
Got it, bro.
Man, give him some love. Give him some love.
Did he just say he put an offer in on a house?
And then Tyler next. Go ahead.
Two things. First,
Go ahead.
it's so easy for us to take the group for granted. Right? Because, we hear every week and all the time, as we should be, but we hear and the group has us, baptized in a certain mentality. And because, we've been here so long, it's so easy to sometimes forget what the group is really giving. You know what I'm saying? And then we hear these stories about, brothers stop coming and, then they gradually, it don't happen overnight. Gradually, they kind of fall off. You know what I'm saying? Until they look up and they back in jail. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just, man, it's just, we get food, right? And he talked about how we get the food. Getting the food has never been a problem. Digesting. We got different digestive systems, right? I'm just keeping it real, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? Sometimes we bring a negative mentality in here, and then we become POP, lactose intolerant. We can't digest. So pop is hitting us, but the food is going in, and because we're not digesting it, we're not extracting the nutrients, that cause us to, to keep growing.
Pop, tell him.
And
I just,
That's a local terminology.
you know, and Pops, he said stuff, man. You know, he said something about scripture, but man, I'm thinking, Woodrow, he talked about the vision board.
Right.
And I'm saying now we say we valuable, level, powerful, and important.
Right.
Right, the bar, how we all connected to the bar.
Right.
Right? We all made in that image, right? In the beginning there was the word. Right? When we create a vision for our life, we're writing scripture for our life. Right? And so, I mean, and you know, this man, this is a beautiful thing. Man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is just yeah, man.
Give some love. See that? Say two houses. See, now he's on his way to the second house. Say the second house. One thing about, listen to this. One thing about the house. Say the house. If the house is nice, the house will force you to come up and tend to it at the level that the house expects.
That's right.
Kind of like a woman.
And then, this my sister said, like a woman. That was wisdom. So the house, say the house. Say the apartment.
Department.
Say the pop house.
Pop house.
See, some people are living the pop house and they don't respect it. And you don't realize that you have it. Say habit.
Habit.
Take to the apartment. Thank you. When you get to your apartment, you run into a different digestive system. And some people your stuff like they did at the pop out. Say the pop out. But we're trying to help you transition. Say transition. Now you get to the apartment, right? You don't have your money. Thinking the story. You want to go to a program. You're going to go to a program to pay my rent. Man, look, I don't want to hear it, man. Get your butt up and go get your money correctly.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Or talk to Tia if you need your second job. Get there. It's here. But my point is, sometimes when you mess around and get that thing you want, it's up here, and it won't move.
Right, say it.
You got to rise up to that thing. It wants to keep it looking good. It likes the windows clean because it's just better that way. You like to pull the weeds because it just don't look right when the weeds are all over everywhere. Huh? And these are things you haven't been doing. But it'll bring something out of you that's taking you to your
next level. That third level.
Part of the process. This is why visioning, Woody, vision board and visioning, this is why it's so critical, because what you see is not who you are right now, but you still see it. And when you get your hands on that thing, you will rise up to it. I don't hear nobody. I don't hear nobody.
Come on.
So now here we're getting late. It's 7:28. I got a couple people that didn't get nothing in. Tyler Storm is next, and then Isaac after that.
Tyler, I want to say something too.
1 second, then you coming after that. Tyler, come on.
I'm just grateful that I'm still alive. I'm grateful that I get to be around people that has experienced a lot, and I take a lot from you guys because you guys literally motivate me, and not just motivate me, but showing me what was not working out. I had my own into the park, and we passed like a group of 10 guys. So they probably saw that I wasn't afraid because of the way I was walking. And I came back, so they asked me, hey, you're trying to get money, you're trying to get recruited. So I turned around and I said, what did you say? And he said, no, you're trying to make money. So I told him, with all due respect, I'm not on the same mindset as you guys. I'm all in a different country, and I'm here to educate myself. And I could see that my presence alone, like, everyone was quiet. They were just listening to me. Like, they'd probably be amazed by what I said, because a lot of their mindset is not in my knees, and I feel like it's my surroundings and my parents. I've always known that I'm never gonna sit there for you. Always, as a kid, from where I'm from, it's just because of my environment. You know, so I'm grateful that I've always had a positive mindset. I'm working towards I want to be. I'm not perfect yet. And the most important thing is I need to better my relationship with God. Without that, nothing will
Give Storm something. Give Storm something. Yeah, Talos' parents called me that last week or something like that, and we had a delightful conversation, you know, this and that. And so right now, no matter where you are in the world, you're young. How old are you now, Talos? You 23 years old, or 33 years old, or 43 years old. You can still be in school, or 53 years old. Still ain't too late, you know. 63, you know, get your class. Take a class. Just take a class. Say, take a class. Isaac, you're next. And then, None, and then coming back to the doctor. For me, what I've been doing. This is the reader. I want you to come right while you go ahead. I'm coming right back. I'm coming right back, Isaac. Go ahead.
Years.
I'm coming back.
I said it. Thinking that it was that. But I knew that it was. Finally, I got everything related to my wife,
Wow, that's so deep. I don't know what all the circumstances is, but give him some love.
I didn't care.
You know what I mean?
Better now.
Hey, Isaac, go ahead. Yeah, for me, when I got out, I lowered my stand. I like that. That was me. Now it's like that's I touch my So I had looked because I know me like that like quiet shit down a whole day. Look at that. Look at my whole thing. The people that were there for them, the people that I see in the street, people that supposed to see me and all this, I don't put too much stock in it. So what I've been doing, I've been just eliminating people out of my life. And since I've been eliminating people, I've been doing peace for myself. Give him some love. I like what Isaac's saying because he's getting there. But he missed what I said in the beginning. I'm going to repeat it for him and anybody else. You can't find your identity between nobody's legs. If you don't know who you are, just getting a piece of trim is not going to tell it to you. I'm just telling you. Now, I'm glad that he got a nice lady and she seems to care for him a little different. But I'm gonna tell you something, you're on the wrong page. I don't care about nothing. You looking between somebody's legs for your identity, I'm telling you, you're never gonna end up where you're supposed to be. I'm just telling you the truth. Right? And you always get your heart broke. Right? Because your expectations are tied to the trim. I'm just saying. Yeah, I was a bad boy before I got with my wife. My wife is bad. My wife is bad. But I wasn't no top liver, when I came, come on now. And, so, already to settle some things that have to be settled, you got to do for yourself.
That's right.
You can't be looking for your definition inside and behind nobody, right? You got to figure out who did he call you to be. I'm just trying to help you now. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play. Umar, what you got?
You want me to change the
When I was kind of close to some guys, and day I came in, I love being around you guys. I've always picked up versus you, and I'm hoping that y'all will accept me as a partner.
Give him some love. Because he said that, I'm gonna give you the book, and then I want you to read the first sentence of the book and come back to this report. About what you read in the first 7 chapters. Give him some love. Now here we got Dr. Darrell Webb, the ordained. Dr. Darrell Webb is on, and he wants to chime in. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for all of my Pop family members that was at the ordination service. Man, my heart was just overwhelmed just with you all being present. I felt like Moses, when Moses needed to.
You're cutting out, brother.
Yeah, so we lost him there for a minute. But you guys who were there, it was an amazing service, and pretty proud of Dr. Webb. I want to go back to something that Roger did, and because I think you don't get it. The permit test in Minnesota is now online.
Okay, I see what I did. I did something wrong there.
So you can
pass
hold on 1 second. You can pass the permit test online, right? And so there's nobody, then that gets you your state ID. So your permit and your state ID is now online. Say online. If you don't have it, now there's no excuse for you not to get it, because you can click online, take the test, and get the ID and all the other things you got to go. Dr. Webb, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I hit the wrong button. My fault.
That's all right.
But I wanted to say there are 2 things that I learned in the lab all those years, especially my years in training with you, Brother Shane and Brother Woodrow and the rest of the Pop family, is that I had to learn how to disarm myself of who I was, because who I wasn't who I was supposed to be. And I had to prepare myself for my exit. Now, my exit from the incarceration piece came so unexpectedly that I had to really just kind of hold on. It was like I had to have 2 seatbelts on. But the moment my foot hit the ground and I stayed connected, and I'm still connected. The moment I did that, I learned that it was important that I think about not the first level, the second level, but getting to the third level, and that third level is so critical, because I had to speak to those things that were not as though they were. In other words, if I had to be self-employed, I had to learn, okay, these are the fundamentals that there had to be a standard. These are the things that I need to do in order to accomplish a step 1, step 2, step 3. Sometimes I didn't even take step 1 or step 2. I went to step 3. And when I found out that I was at step 3, it looked like there was a few more steps that I wanted to take, because I was inspired by seeing the success of just keeping in line staying the course, not looking to the left, not looking to the right, not putting no blame on nobody. If I didn't know something, if I don't know something, not act like I know it, just learn it and get myself together in order so that way I can be prepared and ready to give an answer for the hope that I have.
Yes,
And
sir.
so I just wanted to share that with you all because it's important. Even though I had some more exams I had to take tonight, I made it my business to go get Willie Hardeman and bring him, made sure he got there, and then I made sure that Wayne showed me exactly how to Zoom, so that way, even though I'm not there tonight, I will be next week and the following weeks. There's some big exams they wanted me to take as far as the pastoralship,
Yeah.
but make no mistake about it, y'all. I'm telling you, if you stay the course, I stayed the course, and just be humble in it and not allow other people's issues become my issues. Set my boundaries, then I would stay in the love piece because self-hate can easily be, it can come on out of nowhere.
Yes.
And that's because the boundaries are not set. So I learned how to set these boundaries. I'm staying within these boundaries. And if I can't make it with the next man to do what he's doing, I'm doing what I need to do in order to be at the level that I need to be at. Not level 1, not level 2, but 3 and on up.
That's right. That's right. Give him a hand, y'all. And we got the picture of, all the pop guys and everybody here, that
Yeah.
it's such a nice picture, and
That's enough
everybody
for
was
everybody.
present, and it was
Yeah,
just
that's
so
enough for everybody.
nice, man. It was
Yeah, it
just so
was,
nice.
man.
And then after that, we went and had cake and punch. Yes, see what I mean? Yeah. Somebody say cake and punch. Yeah, see, you didn't even know that you was cake and punch was for you. You was thinking you just heard it on color TV or something. We was on color TV and we had cake and punch. It was real good, and everybody was wondering, man, who are those guys?
Yes, that's what they said.
I love that. I love that. And we lifted Daryl's esteem up because they was like, oh, he got an army of people. So I love that. And so a couple things now before we close tonight. It's getting late. Woody, would you give us a quick update on Laz? Or, I know is he doing good? Or?
Yeah. Laz is hanging in there, man. He listened to you guys. He talked about it. He just said, man, I was going to go buy the spot out. Right. He just really talked about you guys. Possible design student, right? He's doing a great job. He snapped out. He realized he had a little incident, man. He realized that he let it go where everything was not good.
Right.
Man, I realized that my best day inside can't compete with my worst day down here.
Absolutely.
I had to think about that, man. I'm good. I ain't gonna mess up no more.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the top guys. They said, "Top still got my place."
I know, and so this is what this is what you don't know. The last, he's in treatment, trying to pull it together, and I told him if you are going to graduate. Somebody say graduate. Then you'll still have your place when you get out. But you got to graduate. You got to bring home the paper, baby. And so he's on a good path. He's been there now quite a while. It's 90 days of graduation over there, and he got at least half of that, I think, in. So he's getting there. I want to just share real quick about this COVID-19 thing. I don't want us to play games. Y'all know BJ Smith, or you heard of BJ? BJ's a really good brother, and does some of the stuff that we do a different way, in some ways, but community outreach is his thing, and he outreached and got that COVID, plus double pneumonia, plus he's overweight, these things, with these pre-existing conditions that shut him down. He's been hospitalized now for at least 10 days, maybe longer, and I'm only bringing that up to say it can happen to any one of us. And it has happened to some of us. On Thursday coming up, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., right kitty corner from here at the Muslim Temple, the testing is going to take place. it's time for us to go back and get tested. If you haven't been tested recently, you know, just go. It's free. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. 10 to 2. It's just time to check in on it. I wanna show you something that went really on the low. This was written on the 11th of October, so that was just a few days ago. From his Candy Ojai jail cell, Delfonso Thompson became listless. He slept for hours on end just to pass the time. Some days he never saw the sun. It sucked the life out of me a little bit, mentally and physically, said Thompson, 25, who goes by Anthony, in a phone interview from jail. Things weren't always so bleak. As an inmate at St. Cloud State Prison last summer, Thompson kept occupied with his work assignment as a painter. He enjoyed yard time, a well-stocked library, and contact visits that allowed him to embrace his loved ones. Those privileges disappeared after just 3 months. Thompson, who was serving a 6-year bid for burglary, was among more than 100 inmates warehoused in county jails this year to ease crowding, a practice that continued into the COVID-19 pandemic. Jails are designed for temporary housing inmates, usually those who have been recently arrested, can't make bail before their trial, or are awaiting sentencing. Unlike state prisons, jails don't offer the same level of drug treatment and classes to help rehabilitate inmates and prepare them to reenter society. Some have no services at all. This stark contrast in programming has criminal justice advocates decrying the indefinite limbo of those shipped to county jails, where inmates are often more isolated in rural communities. When the Minnesota Department of Corrections started sending inmates to jail in 2013 to ease overcrowding, it was intended to be a short-term fix to an immediate problem. But after 7 years, this has become an indefinite reality for inmates who should be in state prisons. DOC Commissioner Paul Snell said he recognizes the hardship for those transported outside his system, but he defended the use of such a tool for managing a population constantly in flux. We're always trading risk, said Snell, noting that his administration has started moving state inmates back to prison last winter, but that re-entry process stalled when the COVID virus hit. Since the pandemic began, listen to this, 570 Minnesota prisoners have tested positive for the respiratory disease, and 2 have died. I just want you to think about what I'm saying here. At least 150 employees also fell ill, the majority of whom have since returned to duty. I can tell you unequivocally that we would have no one housed out of the facility today if it weren't for COVID-19, said Snell, who has since committed to returning everyone under his care by Halloween. It should be the option of last resort. Now, I'm reading this to you. I think there was one more piece in here I wanted to say. Warehousing state prisoners, according to the contract obtained through a public records request. The contract also states that the Candy Ojai County will be reimbursed up to $3.5 million for housing inmates over the past 4 years. Snell declined to support a full ban, saying that the short-term housing tools allow some inmates to remain in their own communities while offering more flexibility for population management and so forth and so on. I'm reading this to you for a reason. Each one of us who are here right now, but by the grace of God, we could be there. Right. I'm just going to wait for all the amens to die down. We could be there, but we're not there, we're here. And so the virus isn't taking a timeout for you or me or anybody else. And here's VJ, and some of us have contracted it. The testing is important. This is how you zero it out. Now, at our next testing event that we host, everybody who's pop guy will get tested. Now, this one across the street, we're supporting the Muslim temples testing, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to get tested because I want to be clear, you know, of where my bottom line is. Don't play around and be sleep on this thing like it's a joke and it only happens to some other people. It don't happen to you. It's not a joke. It's walking distance for all pop guys. Takes 30 seconds to get tested.
You know what? I want to say something. I thought you were going to say it in there. They showed one time on TV 2 days ago 90 people in Stillwater got the COVID drive. And they locked down. Then they didn't show it no more. No more. I went to every news site. No, it ain't even in the paper.
Right.
Hey, look, if the president got it, you know.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. But anyway, we ain't gonna lose it on that. But your point is well taken. It can happen to anybody. Testing over and over, time and time again, periodically is a smart way for you to keep yourself, your family, and your loved ones safe. If you care for somebody like you say you do, get them tested too. Right? All right.
I want to come on Monday. I mean, like I said, test Monday because I got an appointment coming up. So I'll take one Monday down here at Henderson Healthcare.
Yes. 10 and 1, right over here on Thursday. Quick, go ahead.
So just to ease people's minds, I've been coughing a lot over here. I don't have COVID. I have bronchitis. I got tested today. They rush tested it because of me going in there with symptoms and stuff. So I don't have COVID. I just got a really bad case of bronchitis.
Well, come on, bronchitis, get up on your feet. Let's get out of here.
We got some guys need rides over south. If you're going over south,
yeah,
let us know. Raise your hand because we got a few guys who need rides over south.
Yeah, and then let's get on out of here. Let's pledge out. Everybody. All right, I will balance my family values. My goals. I will exercise wisdom. What I choose to eat. Read, and do. I will ask for what I want. And if I get turned down, I'll ask again. I will learn to make all relationships win-win, no deal. I will, under every circumstance, maintain a positive circle of influence. That's really important.
Really is.
You might be all right, but the people around you ain't cool. And therefore, you're not all right. Watch this. I will act upon circumstances rather than have them act upon me. I will on a daily basis be proactive with my goals. Means you have to have goals. Write them down. Let me hear you. Write them down. Make them plain. Just put a challenge out there. Will has already accepted the challenge. Next week, come with 3 goals. Yeah, sign off on it.
Short term, long term.
Short term, long term. In present time. I will always protect my wisdom. My health. My happiness. I will stay principle centered. What it really means is you just ain't going for riff-raff or that mess.
Right.
Yeah. I will daily learn. Commit. Say commit. Say I'm committed. Staying free. Staying healthy. With a loving heart. I will. That's according to the POP Leadership Institute. Productive in my community. In my private life. I want you to remember something. Those words that you just recited were written by a pop guy, Marcus Glass, who couldn't follow his own recipe, and he's dead now. But you're living. So I am somebody. All right, hug somebody. Let's get.